In 1828, several months before he died, Franz Schubert created the Klavierstücke. It's three piano pieces that weren't exactly a sonata, but in terms of art, they're the very highest, at the very highest level. So in this particular piece or work of art, Schubert is celebrating the beauty of the beloved. The wanderer goes through life invited to a higher life, invited to create a higher life in his work, in what he does, and what he is. And in this creation, there is a middle person or a middle thing that is both a person and nature. All of the magnificent, beautiful things of life are sort of in her, encapsulated in her and made incarnate in her, so that she is the meaning of his life. She is the incarnation of divine invitation in his life. So what Schubert does to celebrate this beloved is to create this really unusual piece in which he plays with poetry in the most remarkable way. So I want you to take a look at it and, first of all, see what he does with the poetry, and through that, get an idea of what he's talking about with this beloved who seems to encapsulate, make incarnate the whole meaning of his life, his orientation to God, to transcendence, to everything in life and beyond it. The first movement of this marvelous piano work is inspired by a poem. The poem is Herbst, or Autumn, and it was written by Ludwig Rellstab. Its Deutsch number is 845. Now, 845 is obviously right very close to 846, which is the Deutsch number of three piano pieces. So at the very same time, Schubert had the poem that was inspiring a lied that he was writing and an instrumental work that he was writing. And you'll be able to see the relationship between the poem as expressed in the lied and then that same poem as expressed in Drei Klavierstücke. The winds howl a cold song of death. The field is barren, the trees stripped bare. Well, why? The beloved is gone. O field of flowers, sunset meadow, sun-soaked meadow, you disappear as do all the dreams in my life. The beloved has disappeared. The clouds rush by, so dark and gray. Even the stars are gone with their heavenly blue. And just as the stars desert the sky, so does hope abandon us in life. So the question, obviously faced by this wanderer, is life, does it have any meaning at all? Here he has been introduced to a vision of a higher reality by this beloved, and yet she is gone, disappeared. Days of spring graced with rosebuds. Once with you I pressed my darling to my breast. But cold winds from the hills have blown this all away. Thus each year the roses of love must perish. So is there any meaning to this life? We all know the experience of the loss of the beloved, the loss of what you love, the inability to achieve your dream. And even still, we have that invitation to create, to ascend ourselves to a higher world. And is there any meaning to it at all? Well, Schubert appends a second poem to the first. It's The Night, Die Nacht. It was written by Friedrich Wilhelm Krummacher. And here, the beloved is present. How lovely you are, gentle, lovely, heavenly peace. You reign in the heavenly fields of light, descending quietly upon our world. How lovely you are, heavenly peace. You rest upon the earth's warm breast in blossoming spring, in silver streams, budding nature everywhere. So the beloved is in nature. He can see its beauty. He can see its charm. And does it have any meaning for him? Does it transfigure his life and the sorrow that is inevitably there? In the second piece, Schubert takes a poem, Widerschein, or Reflection, by Franz Xaver von Schlechte. This Deutsch number is 949. So you have 945, 946, here's 949. And see if you can get the relationship between the second piece and the first. A fisherman stands on the bridge. His beloved is late. Impatiently, she's not here. She hasn't come yet. Impatiently, he looks into the brook and daydreams. Well, she's hiding in the lilac, and he sees her reflection clearly in the waters, more clearly than in life. So, in reality, she has not come to him. But in this reflection, this inner life reality, and it is more clearly seen than in life, this beloved. He recognizes the ribbons in her sweet smile and grabs onto the railing, lest otherwise he would fall in. So there's a mysterious attraction in this inner life, a powerful attraction. This beloved is shown in her beauty, first of all, or suggested in her beauty, and then in a second rendition of this poem, he grabs onto the railing lest he fall in. And there's something ominous about this, because he's talking about death itself. He grabs onto the railing lest in his yearning for this beloved, he might fall in. Then a third rendition of the same poem, and he picks out the recognition of the ribbons and her sweet smile, and rhapsodically he gives expression to the splendor, the beauty of this dream maiden, of this divine, beautiful woman. The third piece is Psalm 92 inspired. And in this psalm, Schubert raises a hymn of praise and thanksgiving to the God who invites through this dream maiden. How wondrous it is to thank you, eternal God, to sing your name most high. In the morning we extol your kindness, in the evening your faithfulness. Our lyre and psaltery sing their praise. We thank you with lyre and harp. Lord and God, your works give me delight. how great they are. And then, how deep are your divine thoughts? The fool cannot understand them. Unthinking people are puzzled. I mean, this has been something. The presentation of an invitation to a higher life, to creating a heaven on earth. The beloved, however, then disappeared, making it all seem like it's trash. It's all meaningless. And yet, mystically, there is that same invitation in a new and deeper form, suggesting that it is not meaningless, that it is all deeply meaningful, the meaning of his life. The evil seemed to triumph, but evil will not triumph. It will go down forever. For you are eternal, O God, eternal. So here is a beautiful set of impromptus, you could call them, or a kind of sonata, in which the splendor of the beloved is developed and set before you. The actual life of the wanderer is tragic, but the deeper reality that underlies that tragic reality invites him to a transcendental future in which the beloved has an integral part.